Hello there, private practice owners. This is Lisa Wozniak with Woz Marketing, coming at you with another virtual coffee episode. And this week we're going to be talking with Kate Buckley. Kate is a writer and content creator, and her target market is specifically mental health practitioners. So one of the things that Kate does, among many with her writing skills, is she writes blog posts for private practice owners. She does landing pages. She writes the newsletters and email marketing campaigns, and does a lot of that time-consuming writing that most of us want to scratch our eyes at, just the thought of sitting down to do that kind of thing. So welcome, Kate. I'm so happy you could be here and talk to us today.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm really excited to get the chance to talk with you today.
Absolutely our pleasure. So let's kind of go with the obvious question at first. Why does a practitioner need somebody to do their writing for them?
That's a great question. And the way I think about it, I feel like there are benefits to the practitioner themselves and benefits for their practice. So let's kind of break it down like that. So kind of like you alluded to earlier, I think a big benefit to the practitioner is that time and stress element. A lot of people, I'm specifically thinking about my therapists who are, the people that I'm really interested in working for and working with, is that a lot of the therapists are awesome at being therapists. Writing and researching and marketing for their practice is not their favorite aspect of their job, and it's not something that feels like a good use of their time. So that's the benefit to the therapist or the practitioner.
So now, what does having a writer at their disposal do for their actual practice? Now, I get the time savings element, which is huge all by itself, right? But what does it do for their practice?
Sure, definitely. So I think what it does for their practice is, of course, is that I have the ability to widen the audience of potential clients for that therapist. I have practices where I can use keywords. I can improve the SEO or search engine optimization of the content of their website. So therefore, that puts their website and their content in front of so many more eyeballs. So there's definitely that potential to reach more people, more interested people looking at your website, more interested people clicking on your website, seeing what you're about, and hopefully, of course, the end result being booking that therapy session with you.
Absolutely. More clients in the long run, right?
Yeah.
So now, how does that, if you could kind of walk us through a little bit about how that works. So like, who provides the topic that you'll be writing about, and the graphics that go along with it, and quite possibly the keywords?
Absolutely. I think that can really vary from practitioner to practitioner. So I absolutely can provide all of those things. I can provide the blog or newsletter content. I can provide royalty-free images or graphics or infographics if that's something that's interesting to you for your website. And of course, the keywords. But people have various ways that they like to approach that. So in some relationships, it's kind of like 50-50 or give and take, like the practitioner already knows a lot of the things that they want to write about, and they just, they provide all of the topics or most of them, or they know the keywords that their competitors are being searched under, or that they are already coming up under sort of, but they want to improve. Or other times I'll do that research. I will work with them, and I will work with the practitioner and say, because we talk about your practice, we talk about who your ideal clients are as a practitioner. That helps me narrow down what keywords should we be incorporating into our blogs and into our newsletters. So it can really just kind of vary.
So now, Kate, we hear a lot, at least in the marketing world these days, we hear a lot about batching your content, like batching your blogs and that kind of thing. Can you explain what that is and how it works?
Sure. That's a practice that I think is really great. What I can do is, if we're going to blog on if we're going to have a number of blogs about a certain topic, like for example, anxiety. If our practitioner really focuses on anxiety in their practice, focuses on treating anxiety, what I can do is I can write 4 blog posts for this month, or for the month that we're going to publish them all at once, and they can reference each other through links. So for example, if one of our posts is just kind of about symptoms of anxiety and how to recognize that your anxiety is getting out of control or whatever, and then talks just briefly about some various things that can positively impact your anxiety, and I can say, here are some ways that we can positively impact your anxiety, exercise, diet, etc. And in that diet area, we can say, to read more about how diet can impact anxiety, click here. That can reference back to another blog post that we have created on this topic that all goes on our practitioner's website. So the benefits of this are many. One is it keeps that particular user on that practitioner's website for longer, right? Because they're reading this first article and then they're kind of interested, oh, I do want to know more about this topic. So they click onto there. So the longer that one particular potential client is on the website, the more of a relationship they're forming with the practitioner, the more interested they're getting in their content. But also, the search engines can see that too. They can see that the relevant keyword is being used more than once. They see the number of clicks and the length of time that people are on that website. And so that over time, that can increase that website in the SEO rankings for that particular keyword as well. So that batching is really beneficial for the practitioner.
So, all right. So now we talked about the batching of the content and how you come up with keywords and topics. So once the article is written, or even like if it's a newsletter for that matter, once the copy is written, who loads it and publishes it? I mean, how does that work?
No, yeah, thanks so much for asking. So that can really vary by the person as well. So again, I think it depends on how much time the practitioner wants to devote to this process. Some people are, so pressed for time or so hands-off in this aspect. They say, Kate, I'd like you to create the content. I'd like you to upload it. I'd like you to put the keywords on it on the back end, right? And I can absolutely do that, for additional fees for uploading it myself on the blog, or for publishing the newsletter, or for even formatting the newsletter. Like all those things can be done, with an additional fee. Other people, they feel comfortable with that aspect. The most time consuming part is the writing, the writing the blog or writing the newsletter and incorporating the keywords. So they say, that's the part that's really time consuming. So you do that, and then you give that copy to me, and I will format the newsletter and send it, or I will upload it onto my own website. So that varies, and it's fine either way, of course.
Do you have like different packages that are available for people to choose from?
Most definitely. I go into a little bit more detail about that on my website, but the practitioner and I can also talk about it on our call. But, we can be very minimal, like a minute, just that 2 blog posts a month, those 2 blog posts a month with your keywords in them. That's going to move the needle, not as much as it would with something else, but definitely at least making sure that we have 2 fresh blog posts a month, up through, more of like a middle ground. A lot of people like that 4 blog posts a month, that like every blog post a week. And then, some newsletters with that too, they liked, so like I have a package with, with the 4 blog posts and the 2 newsletters. There are also some people who are just really wanting to get a lot of content out there. So, I have also a much larger package with, completely redoing all the content on your website and, and continuing on with 4 blog posts a month and 4 newsletters a month. So, there's not one right or wrong. It just depends on the practitioner's budget and, what they're wanting to put out.
So for people who are watching this and they're interested, what are the next steps? I mean, like how does that work? Do they just say, okay, Kate, go? I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, we definitely need to have a phone call, right? Because there's a couple of ways to do that. People can always email me directly, with my email, which is kate@katebuckleycopy.com. Also, if you go to my website, katebuckleycopy.com, there are 2 different ways you can get a hold of me there. There's a button where you can just schedule an appointment onto my schedule. So that would be that scheduling that phone call where we could talk about the practitioners, their current practice, their current website, what are they doing with email and stuff. There's also, if they just have any questions, if they're saying, I don't want to commit to a phone call right now, there's a form on there where they can just send me the question and it'll go to my email, and then I'll answer back by email or say that it's probably going to make sense to have a phone call. So any one of those ways would be a reasonable way to get a hold of me.
Okay, so are you on LinkedIn as well, or Facebook, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I have an Instagram. It's that Kate Buckley is my Instagram handle, and I'm also on LinkedIn as well. And I would say LinkedIn is probably, as far as my social media, is probably my primary way.
If there are private practice owners who are outside of mental health, are you able to help them, or are you able to refer them to someone who can help them? Or
yes, absolutely. So I have a lot of just professional acquaintances and friends who service people in private practice that are not specifically to mental health. So I have people I can refer them to.
And folks, if you are looking to shave some of that time that we talked about off of your schedule and want to get your content out there, I highly recommend you contact Kate Buckley of katebuckleycopy.com. We're going to have that going across the bottom of the screen as well as in the show notes underneath. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule for us to learn more about what you do and how you serve others in the mental health community.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I really appreciate your time as well.
So this is Lisa Wozniak and Kate Buckley having a virtual coffee with you here. Thanks so much for your time. And this is Woz Marketing, helping you navigate your yellow brick road. Have a great day, everybody. Bye for now.